Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. We are not registered financial advisors. STRC from MSTR from Strategy is unbelievably popular, and I'm very sure, I'm 99% sure that it will be coming to Canada eventually in an ETF form. So I don't have any precise news to say that I know that it's coming. I have no idea. I know that several ETF providers that we talk about on this channel are looking into it, but of course they're not going to give me any details about anything because they're not allowed to. But anyway, in case you've been living under a rock lately, you haven't been following really what's going on with Strategy, MSTR, etc. Stretch is by far their most popular, biggest product right now. Essentially, the easiest way to understand it, guys, very, very simple, is that it's kind of like the preferred share of a split share fund. So it's designed to pay monthly dividends, and currently they're actually going to be voting soon to make them semi-monthly dividends. But right now they are monthly dividends. The product is not even a year old, and right now the dividend rate, the distribution rate, is 11.5%. And this product has proven to be extremely, extremely popular, and it starts going bananas, especially a few days before the dividend date, because everyone's trying to capture that big dividend. So today is actually a massive day. For example, May 14th, because if you buy today, you'll get the dividend, which the record date is tomorrow. So you see that the trading volume is absolutely skyrocketed today on Stretch. It's holding above $100. And today, the estimate, and the day's not even over. I'm filming this at 1 p.m. my time, which is 2 p.m. EST. So the market is still open. And the estimate is that Stretch raised $710 million so far and still going, which means the estimate is that they have bought over 8,000 Bitcoin, almost 9,000, and the day is still young. So I wouldn't be surprised that this video is probably going to come out Sunday. Monday is usually when they update the market cap. I wouldn't be surprised if Stretch passes $10 billion in market cap. So very, very popular. Going back to explaining how this works in relation to, STR, what is STRC versus MSTR? The easiest way to understand it, in my opinion, is STRC is kind of like the preferred share of a split share fund. So in case you didn't know, of course you know because you're very smart. My audience is very, very smart. We know how preferred shares work on the split share funds. LBS, for example, the preferred shares typically never move. They're always at a specific, the net asset value doesn't move. It's always about $10. This is for most split funds. It's always at $10 because the value goes up and down. It does not go up and down with the portfolio of the stocks. It actually does not participate in the ups or down of the portfolio of LBS. What is LBS? What is the portfolio? Top 10 financial companies, right? The big 6 banks with Sun Life, Great-West Life, Manulife, IA Financial. So the movements of those stocks up and down does not impact the preferred shares. That goes all to the Class A shares, and that's where the amplification comes in. So if there is $10, if LBS, let's say, is $10 and LBS PR.A is $10, LBS has 100% leverage. It has 2x amplification, which means if these stocks do really well, LBS is going to do extremely well. It's going to do much better because essentially it's kind of like borrowing money at 6.72% at the rate. So essentially Brompton is making a bet that the stocks within the portfolio, on average, the total return is going to be higher than 6.72, which it has been. So that extra gain goes to the LBS shares. What is the result of that for LBS long term? You see that the total returns after 10 years on average is 23.2%. There's a massive amplification of return for the capital shareholder. But the preferred shareholder, the return doesn't really, it is basically the interest rate that they're getting is basically the distribution rate. So it's always going to be about 6%, guys. Always, 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 because it's not participating in any of the upside of the stocks, but also of the downside. So the preferred shares are a way that, yeah, I like these stocks, I guess, but I just want the ultimate safety. Give me my 5-6%, up sometimes even close to 7% yield, and I will give up all the upside of these stocks. I'd rather get the super safety. I'd rather get the yield. That's exactly what STRC is. But it's not giving 6% right now, the dividend, which could vary, which could change every month. Right now it's at 11.5%. So basically, what is the portfolio? It's Bitcoin. That's what it is. So you're basically, if somebody invests in Stretch, is because, yeah, I guess I like Bitcoin, it's here to stay, but I cannot handle the volatility, and I will give up all the upside Bitcoin will do, all the growth. I'll trade that away for a very, 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 very steady stock price of approximately $100. Of course, when it goes ex-dividend date, it usually goes to 99 something, but it's very, 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 you could check out the stretched stock price. It's very, very, very stable because it's not participating in the downside or the upside of the portfolio, if you will, of MSTR, which is Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin goes up, Michael Saylor always says we forecasting that Bitcoin will go up approximately on average 30% a year. If that is the case, and you're giving 11.5% to Stretch, if it goes up 30, well, that 20% gain, because what happens is when they sell Stretch shares, they go back and they turn around and buy Bitcoin right away. So if Bitcoin does, let's say, go up 30% per year, 11.5% goes to the Stretch holder, right? Just like the preferred share, 6.72% goes to lbs.pr.a. The rest, let's just say it's 20%, goes to the MSTR common shareholder. So that is where the amplification, hopefully my face is not blocking this, the amplification for MSTR takes effect. That's how the amplification of LBS takes effect. So if Bitcoin does well, just like if these 10 stocks does well, LBS and MSTR will do very, very well. So that is essentially a very basic explanation of Stretch versus MSTR. So I kind of see as MSTR as a Class A share and Stretch as a preferred. There's other preferreds, but they kind of work differently. But Stretch is really the pure preferred that really does not participate in the ups and downs of Bitcoin. Your capital is not really going to move at all. It's going to move maybe a tiny bit, 99, 100, very, very, but you're going to get that, and you're going to get that yield, which is all rock income, just like split funds is mostly rock income, especially the Brompton ones. Anyway, I'm repeating myself. You know what I'm saying. So I personally believe that there is going to be, because Stretch is so popular, I don't understand, or unless there's really regulatory compliance, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to launch a Canadian listed Stretch ETF. So these are my ideas for a Canadian listed ETF that incorporates Stretch. I want to make this a fun video because these are the thoughts I have in my head. I'm always thinking of new ETF ideas. This water is hot. I didn't get new water. That sucks for me. But I'm not going to make it too long because these are my Stretch ideas. So the first thing, the most basic idea, and maybe, and I think personally, this is my personal opinion, it's probably going to be someone like a Harvest or an Hamilton maybe, or an Evolve that will launch these, because, Evolve and Harvest especially are have launched crypto products. And I know that Harvest is we've had them on the channel. They're big bulls on Bitcoin. They like Bitcoin, right? So they have HBIX, for example. So obviously the easiest ETF to do is just create an ETF that holds Stretch and add 25% leverage on it, right? That's a very, very easy thing you could do. Personally, in my opinion, I would add the most amount of leverage possible, which I think in Canada is 50%. This is something Mr. John Mulvihill told me. I can't confirm if it's true or not. But if you're going to put leverage on something that's super, super stable, why put 25 if you could go 33 or 50? So I think for sure, my personal opinion, why not do 50? Just like Mulvihill did for SPFD, right? So SPFD is literally a collection of split fund preferred shares. super, super boring, that barely move. So, and you could watch the video. And by the way, my video is right here on their website, on their webpage, real cool to explain SPFD. It's basically a 50% leverage version of SPLT or PREF. SPLT is from Brompton, PREF is from Quadravest, SPFD is from Mulvihill. The concept is the same for all three of the ETFs. It's a collection of split share fund preferred shares, super, super boring, which the average is maybe about 6% yield, like we saw for LBS. But if you add as much leverage as possible, 50%, all of a sudden you're at about 10% yield. So that's the concept behind SPFD. Why not do 50% leverage on stretch, right? So if, let's just say right now the dividend is 11.5. If you do plus 50%, of course, there's leverage cost, so it's not exactly going to be this. I'm assuming it's going to be a bit lower than this yield, maybe 16, 15%. You could easily get a 15, let's just say 14, 15, 16% yield on just adding 50% leverage to stretch. And there's many, many ETFs that are doing this either on the traditional system or on the DeFi space, just amplifying stretch like crazy. There's products being built on top of stretch. So that is a very, very basic idea to list stretch in Canada. Even with STRC plus 50% leverage, let's say they do STRC with 25% leverage or 33% leverage, I don't think I would be interested, because I rather just get the MST, the MSTR with the covered calls. With 50% leverage, if you could give me 15, 16, 17% yield and the stock price doesn't really move, maybe I'll be interested. I'm not sure, but I got some better ideas. How about Hamilton ETFs comes out with a ticker symbol called B-Day. B as in boy, obviously, for Bitcoin Day. And it kind of mimics their DayMax strategy. So I think the DayMax strategy, this strategy that Hamilton has done or came up with, is extremely innovative. Obviously, they have geniuses working for them. I know Nick Picard is a genius. I mean, he's just this. He's a math whiz. He has a degree in mathematics. The guys at Hamilton are very, very smart. They're very innovative. But why not bring that innovation to Bitcoin and launch that as their first Bitcoin product? I know they're a more conservative firm, and we love them for that. But why not push the innovation a little bit? Why not do, here's my idea. I even have the stock symbol for the love of whatever. B-Day. 100% stretch, right? Just like Q-Day has 100% QMVP and C-Day has 100% CMVP and S-Day has 100% SMVP, and QMVP holds 100%. No cover calls on this or anything. I don't even know if you could do cover calls on stretch. I doubt you would make any premiums whatsoever because stretch has almost no volatility. But if you can, I would write probably even put options on it, not calls. I would sell puts, not calls. But 100% QMVP, and then there are no cover calls, and they're only writing cover calls on QQQM. Zero DTE cover calls on the QQQM. And that's basically essentially there's 25% leverage, but they're only writing cover calls on 20% of the portfolio, right? Because it's 125, so it's only 20% total. But QMVP is fully appreciating, and as we could see lately, technology stocks are on a tear, and Q-Day is doing amazing, while the cover calls on QQQM are generating that income, right? Of course, are generating that high income of about 20% yield, and it's semi-monthly distribution. So very, very simple. Why not just apply that? You put 100% in stretch, which gives 11.5% yield right now, 25% in QQQM. You do your at-the-money calls on QQQM, which is about 20% yield. Stretch is about 11.5% yield. That's over 30% yield, guys. Why not? Why not even target maybe something like a 25% yield, make it a little bit lower, and if they're generating more premium or more dividends. And by the way, because stretch is all rock income, B-Day should all be rock income as well. Capital gains are rock, right? So I'm pretty sure that's the case as well. That's one reason why, as a, if you're Canadian, you could buy stretch. It's a US listed fund, but you'll be subject to withholding taxes in your TFSA and your cash account, not in your RSP. So if you just want stretch, by the way, you could just buy it in your RSP now, and that's fine. There's no withholding tax. You'll get dividend yield. In the TFSA and the cash account, it's a pain in the ass. 15% withholding tax. If it's all rock, maybe you'll get it back. I don't know, but either way, I'd rather prefer it in an amplified Canadian wrapper. Why not do it this way? You could easily get about 30% yield, put a target yield of 25 maybe, and reinvest the if there's extra premiums into the NAV. So maybe you'll get even a slightly appreciating NAV very, very slowly with 25% yield. What a killer ETF. What do you guys think? Let me know of my idea. Or here's even a more crazy idea. Why not replace the QQQM with MSTR and write the at the money calls on MSTR? That means the yield will probably double to 40%. Imagine doing at the money calls on MSTR instead of QQQM, which is way more volatile than the NASDAQ, right? If you look at the options, the MSTR volatility is 77. The Q's is 23. It's literally like triple the volatility. So you'll easily get double the yield, maybe triple the yield. I have no idea how much yield it could be. But this is a 50% yield product right here easily. And you could even target 50% yield. Why the heck not? And if you're making over 50, or target 30 or 40 to be conservative and reinvest the proceeds into the NAV, right? So you don't get crazy NAV decay in case MSTR goes down. But either way, MSTR is only going to be 25% of the portfolio. Most of it is going to be in stretch. So I think the Hamilton Daymax series, no matter how they do it, what combination they use, could be a really, really good idea. I think that's my favorite idea. There you go, $1 million idea right there, maybe $1 billion idea. Another one could be, don't forget, it's not just Stretch now. Stretch has a competitor called SATA from Strive, a mini MSTR. They're at 15,000 Bitcoin. They're accumulating. They just announced today that they're doing daily dividends for their Stretch product, which is SATA. So SATA is basically Strive's Stretch. And because it's competing with Stretch and they're a bit of a smaller company, their dividend yield is about 13%. Now they're going to be paid out daily. 13% yield, not 11.5%. So you could also do a combination, maybe adding a little bit of SATA in there or whatever. That's just something else I thought of. What about Evolve? Evolve could maybe integrate something or do something with their Ultra Yield series with STRC. So I don't know if you want to do maybe just STRC with 33% leverage. Again, I would do 50% leverage, but maybe they could make, an ETF with STRC and MSTR and SATA, or maybe some other one of these of strategies preferred instruments. I don't know. There's Stride and Strife, which is 10 to 13% yield. There's Strike, which is 10% yield. So maybe a combination. That's another thing that we could do here, is maybe make an ETF with a combination of these preferred. So the sky's the limit. I feel that it's really Harvest and Hamilton maybe with that Daymax idea. Evolve maybe could come up with something. Harvest even has their new premium suite, premium yield, where they do calls and puts. Maybe a combination of calls and puts could be good. It could hold 50% MSTR, do calls and puts on that, and then put the rest in STRC. So maybe they could do like a much lower volatile version of MSTE, if you will, right? So there's so many versions, guys, so many ideas. Let me know which idea. Let me know if you like this idea of doing like a Daymax with STRC. I think it's very, very interesting. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your ideas are. I wanted to make this a fun little video here for the weekend. So there you have it. That's it for me. So give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you found this video fun, entertaining, and cool. If not, just let me know, and let me know your ideas. Let me know if you agree with which idea you think is best. Give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well. I'm trying to hit 250,000. I would really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay passive, stay honorable, and see you next time.